Arathusa Private Game Reserve. So my name is Brent. I've got Andrew on camera with me today, and Eugene and Tara are in FC. Welcome on live safari. For those of you who are new, you might not realize this, but what you're seeing by a few seconds is exactly what I'm seeing out here in the African bush. So welcome to everyone, to our new viewers and old viewers. Just to give you a quick sort of news update, we did check on quarantine male leopard, who's had that impala for the last couple of days, when we got out very, very early this morning, and he was there with a very, very, very fat belly, sleeping underneath the tree. Sorry guys, the game drives are trying to get a hold of me. Sorry, I'll be with you in 1 minute. So the reason I've come all the way across to Arathusa to start this morning, even though we know where a leopard is because we haven't seen lions in a while, and we did get a report late last night that there was a pride of lions around Arathusa. So we've come all the way across here to see if we can find them, and apparently the guys have already found them, so we're just standing by to get a chance to go into that sighting. In the meantime, what we're doing is we've been following male leopard tracks, and they're going right down the road. So we're going to continue following those till we get a chance to go into the lion sighting. And please remember, we are interactive. Yeah, you can send us questions while we're on drive, and you can do that by using an email, and the email address is questions@wildearth.tv, or you can just use the hashtag SafariLIVE on Twitter. Before I get lots of questions about my red shuka that I'm wearing this morning, this is actually a Maasai blanket that I got while I lived in Tanzania. And with the mist and it's a bit chilly this morning, I decided to whip it out to keep cozy for the first part of drive. So off we go. Do it the Maasai way. Ryan coming. Very good. How are you this morning? On Triple M to the south of your access and Tsalala. There's Nkonzo of Madodeng where I've been following from Rebecca's. AFM, I'm not quite sure what the lineup is. I know there's 2 stations pulled out. Copy, thanks very much. I'll make my way straight there, then from that southern access road onto your airstrip. Confirm that's best access. Copy, thanks very much. I'll probably be there in the next 5. Thanks very much. Hey guys, that's good news. They've called us in to go see those lions. Apparently it's the Tsalala breakaway pride. Not that I'm aware of. So, quite interesting, when I worked in the southern or central Sabi Sands, the Tsalala pride used to be a pride I used to see very often. So, but I'm quite sure these will be granddaughters of the lions I used to see when I lived in that part of the Sabi Sands. So it'll be very interesting to see if there's any similarities, but I doubt that. Wonderful misty morning. Guess temperature's probably around 15 or so degrees Celsius. I really like these misty mornings. Nice thing is you've got this very unique sort of way to start, and almost eerie light taking through. There is some other cloud around, but what I'm hoping is that the sun will actually burn off the cloud, and we should have a sunny day. Our first sort of full sunny day for the last while. But I will definitely come back and try see if what's happening with these leopard tracks after we've gone and had a look at the lions. So at about 10 just before I went to bed, I was sitting outside my room and I heard a male leopard calling. For those of you who don't know what a leopard call sounds like, it sounds like someone sawing wood. So makes my throat a bit raw, but and I'm pretty sure it was the dominant male leopard who we see quite often on Juma, who's named Mvula. And so I even said to Andrew before, as we get out, I said, if you've been walking up that eastern boundary, and what I thought, if he normally what happens here, will cut across and head south, and so that's exactly what he did, and we found the tracks. And so we've been following those tracks, and this is actually very close to the boundary between his area, which is to the east, and another male leopard called Tungana, which they see on Arathusa and this side. So that's quite interesting. And after rain, a lot of animals will go mark their boundaries because the rain might have affected the scent that they've left. So they will quite often after rain, they'll go mark specifically the boundaries where they have the most pressure from other animals. Preparations are approaching the southern side of the airstrip. Watch out, boys and girls, there are lions in the area. You might hear me chatting to one of the other guides shortly. There we go. There's one of the lions. I know there's a few more around. I'm not sure how many are in this pride, but she does seem to be moving south. Unfortunately, the southern end of the airstrip is sort of the end of our traverse area. So we've got here just in the nick of time. Even from this distance, it looks like it might be quite full. So for those of you who are not sure what that clicking noise is, every now and then I might just take a few photographs. It's quite a nice shot because she's standing on a sort of high piece of ground. So I know everyone's heard of gorillas in the mist, but now we've got lions in the mist. Just waiting to see if she walks towards us. Okay, it looks like she might be going back to where the rest of the pride are, so let's go have a look at it close. Oh, she's got a nice full belly. She's a very big lioness. Looks like she's going to head back to the rest of the pride. Dinjani? Morning, Sid. How are you doing, buddy? Oh, very good, eh? Hey, nice to see some lions. I haven't seen them for a while.
More on that open as well, no?
And nice and full.
Yeah.
Is this the same pride who was eating that grilla meat?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Finished that up, and last night a lot of pilots are close to the kayak side, and now they come to the airstrip, so hopefully they're going to
hang around for a bit with their nice big bellies. Yeah.
beautiful lines.
Yeah. I used to see the original Tsalala pride when I worked down south.
Yeah, I was working in Koro. I used to see them when there used to be 8 siblings. So there's four sisters, and the other 2 sisters and 2 brothers that got killed by the Machinga lions.
Okay. Awesome. Enjoy, guys.
Right,
have a good morning. Oh, isn't that a magnificent lioness? She's a very big girl with a big belly. But it looks like you can see it right in the distance there. There's another game drive vehicle, and that's where the rest of the pride is lying. I wonder what she went off to check. Maybe she heard something, decided she needed to investigate. Just going to try get around in front of her so you can see her face.
Side shots also nice, yeah?
Okay, we can track along with her for a while. And you can see the mist behind her. Wow, it looks like there's quite a few lions in this pride. Oh, bunch lying out in the open area. Shoot ahead a little bit. You see, and here all the plovers, even though a lion's not likely to raid their nest, you can hear them all going ballistic about her. I don't know if you heard that. Very low contact call there. I wonder, she keeps looking back. Maybe she heard male lions to the south. That very low contact call to the other lions that are ahead of her. We'll stay with her for a little bit, then we will shoot up to the other lions. There's actually another lioness I can just see. I'm not sure if it's a lioness or a young male that's walking towards her now. Sorry about that. There's a lot of mist, so there's going to be a bit of moisture. There's impalas watching her from the left. I'll show you where now. So if you look, you see them there, yeah. So they're the impala, just watching her, and they realize the way she's walking out in the open, she's not posing a threat to them. We definitely want to be in position when these lions meet. They might greet, they might actually play in a nice cool misty morning like this. They might jump up and down, and shit, this is a very, very, very good looking pride from what I've been told. So I'm quite excited to have a look at them. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10, 11. Mist's actually getting a bit thicker. Just go up in front quickly there. That one line, she was stalking, she looks like she's about to jump on the other one. It's like they're playing the game. She's going to stalk their siblings. I'm not sure what the makeup is exactly. So those two look like they're waiting for this one, and then they're going to jump on her. So I'm just going to try getting ourselves into the best. Oh, there's another one. Let's see. There's lines popping up everywhere out of the mist. Yeah, this is a big pride. I'm going to focus on this one here, to my right. You can see it's very much in stalk mode. She's robbed them. She's laying down. But this nice cool morning, we should see some really nice interaction. They might be playing and running. So these look like sub-adults. Guys, maybe you could find me some more information on the Tsalala breakaway pride. How many animals, how many sub-adults. Let's come here quickly. She's gonna go jump on. So that's definitely a younger lioness there. And they're playing the stalking game with the adult. You can hear an impala alarming in the background. I'm going to try count again now. 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, but instead of going for mom, I'm going to go for the youngster, the other baby. Lots of games. Oh, again to the right, it's going to happen. See the one how its ears are flat there? There we go. Nice cool morning. We're going to see some very nice interaction with these lions, especially if there's sub-adults in that here. There should be lots of playing. I'm going to try, if you have a look, Andrew's going to try now pick the others up in the mist in the background. You'll see there just seems to be lines popping up everywhere. There we go, there's another whole bunch up at the top there. More to the left. So, I'm going to see how they start moving. They should. There's still one sitting up. Let's see what she's about to get up to. This is an impressive pride. And I heard chatting to Cedric that they killed a giraffe a couple of days ago and they finished it. Thanks very much, Power Funk Radio. I asked Power Funk to let me know what the makeup of the pride was. Apparently there are 4 adults and 9 sub-adults. It's a big pride. I think I can see definitely at least one young male, but a lot of these sub-adults I see are females, and that's very, very good for the future of the pride, to stay as a large pride.
they so spread out? It seems like they're so spread out.
I think they've been playing and chasing each other. Good morning, Lynn from Toronto. Lynn would like to know the first lioness we saw, if she was pregnant. I'm not sure, it's quite difficult to say at that stage, but I think she definitely has a giraffe, a belly full of giraffe. And to tell the genders, I'll get you now. I know, well, these definitely aren't East African lions, because if they saw this, they'd be running. So there you go. A comment on my that was Ryan, one of the guides from Methuselah, referring to how chic my bright red Maasai blanket looks in this cold weather. He had a good chuckle at it. But the other quite interesting thing, and especially since we are sitting with lions, oh sorry, let me finish that answering the other question first. Well, with adult males, it's very easy to tell the difference between male and female. They've got a huge mane. I don't see any adult males here. I think there is a sub-adult male, and we will move around to go have a look now. If you go to the one right in the mist there, in the center, it looks like a sub-adult, but we will go a bit closer shortly.
Very misty.
Very misty, yeah. I just see it looks like he's got a bit of dark under his neck.
Yeah.
There. And so they develop a big sort of mound of hair around their neck. And that's an adaptation because they have to fight each other quite often for territory. So that hair offers a little bit of protection during those fights. And in some cases, if a male lion with a very dark black mane, it's in recent studies it's been proven to have more testosterone than a light mane male. And females tend to choose darker mane males over light mane males because they are more aggressive, therefore more likely to be able to defend a territory and enable them to raise cubs without interlopers coming in too often. Wow, this mist is really sort of lowered down now. See, all the lions have now suddenly turned their head and looking. There's some impala alarm calling quite far away, and that's probably not from them. It could be unlikely to be another pride of lions around here, but it could be another male lion. But as we're talking about, I said these are definitely not East African lions, because this red shuka, which the Maasai wear, there's actually been some very interesting studies done on this, that it's not so much that they can see color, but the shape and whatnot when it's worn by Maasai, who obviously have been fighting lions for thousands of years, and up until very recently their rite of passage was to kill a lion with a spear. So they've done tests that if you walk through the bush sort of wearing what I normally wear, khaki, the lions don't really react, but you put on a Maasai shuka and you walk, and the lions literally run from the Maasai and the Serengeti and Masai Mara. So it's very interesting, and you can see here they take no notice of it. So quite interesting. Let's go have a look at the rest of the lions that are piled up at the top there in the mist. Lots and lots of kitty cats all around us today. I'm super ecstatic. I haven't got to see lions in a while. Why are you lying in the mud, silly cat? Good morning, Barbara. Barbara would like to know, would these sub-adults be able to join a hunt yet? I think definitely, Barbara, they are. Especially with bigger, slower moving animals like buffalo and giraffe. They would definitely join in the hunt. So there's going, I thought I saw some young males up in the distance. And here is one of them now. And you can see there, I can see 2 young males so far. So this happens quite often with lions when you're moving, and especially with young adults. You see, she stood up and she started following the car, and what she was doing is she was watching the movement of the tires. So it happens quite often. Cubs in particular will literally, you can watch their heads go round and round as they watch the tires. Or maybe she's just feels like Andrew looks like a decent snack.
That's not good.
I'm going to join the other siblings. So you can see there's a young male. You can see the mane starting to develop. We can hear one of the older lionesses calling behind us. And that's why he got up and is starting to move towards where that lioness was calling. So you can see him starting to develop a mane. And even if you have a look, I think he's a bit younger than some of the sub-adult lionesses we saw now. But you can have a look. He's already going to be he'll physically get much bigger than the lionesses much quicker. Okay, I can see another 2 young males. It looks like there's 3 young males in total. All big games are coming up. Oh no jump this time. Let's just go down there quickly, because I think if they're going to play, it's going to be around where those lions are. There we go, you can see reaction to the tires moving again. Very much a sub-adult and cub thing to do. Really likes the tires going round and round and the movement. It would stop moving. Now I'm confused. Oh, the mist is thick. I mean, this young lioness is probably about 5 meters from us, and you can see how the mist is very, very thick. That original lioness we started off, I don't know if you're even going to be able to see her in shot with just quickly on those 2 there. The ears are down. There we go. Might get a little bit of playing. So all this playing we're seeing now, watch how they use their paws and whatnot. This is all very important sort of training for hunting. It looks like the rest of the lions are also heading this way. So guys, we're going to try and wipe the screen. The mist is really, really thick. Oh, just hang on a sec. There. No, that's good. Go for it. So, a lot of play with wild animals, specifically predators, is very important because the players practice for hunting. So they use similar movements. You'll watch how the claws come out to the side, or the paws come out to the side. So it's a tripping motion and a jumping. So it's all very important practice for as they get older, for fighting. Oh, here we go. Another lion coming past. Actually look carefully, you can even see the little droplets of water getting congregated on your ear from the mist. Good morning, Anastasia from Ohio. Anastasia would like to know, What is the usual number of lions in a pride? Get ready there, Andrew. See that one stalking the others? She's going to come in. Right. There we go. Spotted the tires moving. What is the Anastasia would like to know, what's the usual number of lions in a pride? Anastasia, it completely varies. I mean, if we look in this, I mean, this is a big pride. There are 13 individuals in this pride, but when you got the other pride, which is the sticks 2 young females, that's only 2 lions in a pride. So what happens with a lot of lion prides is it varies a lot, and they go through times when there's lots and lots of lions like we've got now, and through to times where there's not very many lions, like we see with the Sticks Pride where there's only 2. So they all seem to be up and moving towards that female. And there's going to be some fun and games. Hello, lions. As we apologize for the lens getting misted up, but it is incredibly difficult in this weather, as you can see. Just mist everywhere. And it's very low to the ground. Good morning, Barbara in Chicago. Barbara would like to know, why is their tail raised when they're interacting and playing like that? Well, with lions, their tails are a very important sort of telltale sign. So if a lion's very angry, it will be thrashing its tail, and that's one of the ways it can signal to other lions that they are upset. And so I think it's possibly they do that to make sure everyone knows that they're not actually upset and it's playing, they're not trying to fight. We're just literally lions scattered everywhere at the moment. I'm going to try clean the lens again quickly, please. There's a lot of water droplets on it at the moment. Maybe we should put the rain cover on.
It's not that bad.
And then the wonderful thing about when you've got so many sub-adults in a group, there's always someone doing something when the lions are moving. Here we go. There's going to be big games about to happen here. Young males getting involved. We all know what little boys are like. Very boisterous. Coming up in front of us. Boom. Smack you in the face. Just have a look here quickly. This wonderful cool weather. Oh, hello. Another visitor. It's amazing being able to spend time with them like this, even though the mist is proving to make things a little bit difficult. It is keeping them quite active, whereas normally by this time of the morning they would be flat and fast asleep. Well, Anne-Marie, thanks for that question about the weather. I inadvertently answered it, but thank you very much for that question anyway. The weather is definitely affecting their behavior. It's nice and cool, so they are a lot more active than they would normally be. Especially after having such a big meal like a giraffe. About tracking lions in the mist is probably, I think it's incredible fun. Or tracking them on foot, because you're sort of following these lion tracks, and especially where there's longer grass coming up on the right. And then all of a sudden, especially with a male lion, a sort of monster rises from the grass and in the mist, and it's just an incredible view to see that. It's no fun being able to stalk someone who's looking. That was a bit tame. They're such incredible. Just looking at them, even though they're quite fat, you can see the definition in the muscle, sort of built for pure power. Very challenging photography weather as well. Does make it quite interesting though. There's another lion. It looks like another young male who's coming from far away through the mist. Well, now that looks like almost all of them, but there still could be a few further away that we can't see. So we'll start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 behind us, 11, 12, 13. Oh, it's amazing. It's almost a very eerie shot. This lion appearing out of the mist. Sorry if you have a bit of knocking around. I'm just changing lenses quickly. Oh, bless you. Morning, morning, everyone. Good, thanks. Guys, I'm just going to move the car quickly. Good morning, Sherry from California. Sherry would like to know if times got sort of tough and food got scarce, would a large pride like this split? That does happen from time to time, but more so it does from competition, because lions are very competitive feeders. So as much as they might be all happy and friends at the moment, as soon as there's meat on the table, it's each lion for itself. So generally it's more to do with competition. When a pride gets very big, that means that almost always have to kill very big things. So like giraffe and hippo and buffalo and elephant. A zebra doesn't quite suffice when there's 37 of you trying to eat it. So it's normally to do with competition for food in the pride that would cause a split. And that could also come when there isn't that much large food species available. So move around. I've got I can see a very good shot, and I'm sure you guys would love it for your screenshots. So I'm gonna just pop around to line up the shot. Like everywhere we go, there's a lion. There's another lion lying over here. There's another one lying over there. Just lions everywhere. Hello, Fluffy. Line up those lions in the dead tree and the mist. There we go, we're nearly there. Let's just get it, go past the other tree. There we go. Isn't that spectacular? Good, thank you. How are you doing? Very good, thanks. Yeah, they've been alarm calling there for a while. Maybe in England. So there's one of the other guys just heard some impala alarm calling, and it's definitely not from the lions. I think it's a bit far away, so it's just going to go have a quick look. Nice, Andrew. Definitely. Good morning, Matt from Texas. Matt, is asking is, what's in the tree there? Is it a nest, or what's it made from? It is. It's a red-billed buffalo weaver's nest. And they are communal nesters that make their nests up of lots of thorns and twigs. Oh, guys, we're gonna. As we said, the guys went to go check those impala alarm calls. There's a leopard right here as well. So we're just gonna go have a quick look, see which leopard it is, and maybe it could be very interesting if he starts moving towards the lions. He might get chased. Right here, we just heard all those impala. And the lions aren't moving too much at the moment. Yeah, I've got my fingers crossed that it's Tingana, the dominant male leopard from this area, because I've never seen him. There we go. I see the leopard. You got a shot through there, Andrew? It doesn't look like a male though. But it looks like spotted those lions from a long way off and decided, no, this is not a good place to be. Just had a brief view of the leopard through the bush there. Trying to see which way it was going. But from what it looked, she was looking back over her shoulder. It looked like a female to me. But we'll have a look when we get a bit closer. All happening here on Arethusa this morning. You can see she's definitely I'm not sure which leopard that is. If you guys get a chance, please can you try ID? Scent marking, so it could be shadow, but I can't see, and I'm concentrating on not getting stuck or getting a flat tire. I think it is shadow though. So she keeps looking back to where those lions were, making sure she wasn't followed. But you can see she's not relaxed, and it's not the vehicles. She keeps looking back to check that the lions aren't coming. You know which egret this is? Huh? Oh, it's Kwatile. I haven't seen her for a while. So it's Kwatile. It's the leopard we saw mating with Mvula a couple of weeks ago. But let's just double check that, guys. So can you double check that for me? And send your answers to questions at wildearth.tv, or use the hashtag SafariLIVE on Twitter. Or unfortunately, she is crossing our southernmost road we can drive here. But it was still nice to see her. Another leopard we don't see too often. We just need to double check our not crossing the boundary, but I think we are. She has crossed over our the southern boundary that we are allowed to drive over. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm aware. So just checking. Thanks very much, hey guys. Enjoy. Copy. I'm going to head back towards the Ngala. So, unfortunately, or fortunately for her, she spotted the lions before they spotted her, because with this mist and stuff, you can stumble across stuff without even seeing them. We saw how well camouflaged the lions were in the mist. So fortunately for her, she spotted the lions first and decided to get out of dodge. That's why she was running so quickly. She wasn't stressed from the vehicles at all. She was running, watching, looking back over her shoulder to get away from the lions. And so that's quite interesting. So that is the same leopard we saw mating with the Mvula around Twin Dams and Mamba area. And she also got chased by lions twice while she was mating. So obviously she's having a bad run with walking into lions. But luckily, she saw the lions from quite a distance, and you could see how when she was running, she'd look back over her shoulder. Okay, there are no lions. Run a little bit further. Okay, good, still no lions. Lions are up and on the move. They probably came to inspect after hearing those Impala alarm calls. Yeah, they are all coming to inspect, and she must have seen them through the bush before they saw her, and she skedaddled. You can see they're going to check the exact area where those Impala were alarm calling. You can see the shoulders a bit hunched. Well, that was a bit embarrassing. You tripped. And they've split. Fortunately for Miss Kwatile, she has managed to evade. Stations were somewhere in Tsalala and about west into the block off there. Lions all around us, coming to inspect where they heard the Impala alarming at the leopard. Now, which line do we follow? There's so many all around us. I think there seems to be more off to our right, so it's better.
A couple sneaking up this side.
Are they sneaking up behind us as well?
Yeah.
Oh. It's like we're part of the pride.
We're out on a hunt.
Hunt for a leopard. We've fortunately made a good escape. And the sun's starting to burn off a bit of the mist, so we should get some nice sunlight shortly. See how many lines? It's just lines everywhere. Let's stick with the ones we can see nice and clearly for now. Well, actually, let's just go with the ones closest to us. So they are in that hunting mode, and even though they're just checking, one there. Can't see any more to my right. But I'm sure they're there in the mist. So what looks like So what's happened is they were looking for that leopard, and now they've spotted the impala. To give you, that's a sub-adult. They maybe I think she's been spotted. She's moving too quickly. You show that you see the inexperience. There we go. And she's going to run now. I doubt she's going to get one. That was just showing her inexperience on the hunt there. She's still running. Where is she? She's still. Now we don't know what's going on. And then Paula don't know what's going on with this. The lion just literally ran a circle around them, split them. There's another lion somewhere around here. It's absolute pandemonium happening here. We don't know which way to look.
I don't see any lions.
And I can't hear any lions. The last time I saw that lioness was where Andrew's putting the camera now, running through the middle of the impala. So we don't want to move just yet. There were two lions behind us. I've got one line. And with all this pandemonium, there's a strong possibility that impala might just run the wrong direction and into a line. So we don't want to move. We're just going to sit still for now. But there you can see some inexperience in the hunting. She was moving too fast. And this is perfect morning to hunt. But that's good practice for a sub-adult. We're just going to stick with a line we can see for now.
It's kind of strange to think there's 12 others
around us.
You can't see them.
Exactly. Well, I think it's always better to stick with the one you can. But there was a very good example of a sub-adult. Too eager, too quick. And with this weather, like it is at the moment, there's a very good chance for it to make a kill. So you can hear lions contact calling all around us. They're very low. Oh, oh. So they're trying to get back together. could be nice. We'll see some nice greeting ceremonies. Running towards the direction of that. We heard that last contact call. I can see more lines up to the right. There we go. There's the whole pride coming together. Even though they've been away for a short space of time, there might be some nice greeting. That was incredible. silly lioness. Too eager. Nice big termite mound. We're just gonna zoom around it. There we go. Game's on. Running in the opposite direction, the one we just came from now. You can hear the contact calling. You hear the females roaring. Saying, "Get back here, you naughty little creatures." They're never going to answer. Good morning, Angie from Ohio. Quick on here. They're going to go big games. It's just lions running and jumping and chasing each other all around us. Sorry, Angie, I'll get to your question now, but it's just really, really fun stuff going on with these sub-adults at the moment. Angie, I would like to know the difference between a male and a lion. Male and a difference between a lion and a lioness roar. The male lion's roar it's much deeper and louder. This is the wonderful thing about this weather and having so many sub-adults. There's always someone trying to catch someone else. Coming up here. Oh, isn't that fun? See, all these games are really good practice for hunting. Going to go. She's got the stalk. Oh, again, that's a big jump. But we're just going to try. We're at the back. We need to try and catch up with him. There we go. Tough chest. I'm just trying to find a way through. They're just lions moving all about. So you can see the size difference there between, this looks to be an adult. One adult female amongst all these naughty youngsters. Ready? And being stalked by another one. Guys, why do you keep going into the thickets? So it looks like they're heading back out into that open area where we had them earlier. I'm going to try jump ahead. Oh, big game about to hit up there. Boom. Chasing each other.
Watch out, this came right behind us. That lion came right behind us. I thought he was going to.
No, he's off the tires. It's the movement.
It's a bit scary.
The stations, those Ngala have made their way back out of the block onto the open area. Go ahead. No problem. Make your way. Good morning, Tara from San Francisco. Tara would like to know, coming. High-speed lion. There we go. It's being stalked. You guys ready for it? There it comes. Isn't that wonderful? There's another young male coming through, so let's just watch him. Tara, I will answer your question now, but while the lions are doing something exciting, I think we should just rather watch them for a few seconds. So I can see 3, and now they're being stalked by one off to the left here. Getting ready. See, this is all very good practice for when they do have to hunt. Decided quite that it's the right moment yet. There we go. Yep, she definitely won that one. So Tara's question was that, do lions hunt leopards or leopards hunt lions? Tara, if lions get the chance, they will kill a leopard. The reason for this is that they remove the competition from the area, so they're competing for the same food source. So they will kill leopards. Lions will kill leopard cubs when they get the opportunity. If they find the lion cubs, leopards will kill lion cubs. When they find lion cubs that have been hidden away by their mother while she's off hunting, they will definitely try to kill them. That's why with predators, your number of cubs that make it to adulthood is quite low, and they've got a very high mortality rate. how many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 13, 10, 11. So we're still missing 2. One goes, all go the youngsters. Big games. Naughty children. Let's try to move around. Backwards. Going back to play in the bush. Oh, we've got a young Sabah out here cleaning her claws on the tree, but it's gonna rather play games. You can see those claws coming out there. Very important that you'll see lions and leopard do that. What they're doing by doing that is they clean the claws, because quite a lot of bits of meat and other nasties get stuck. Oh look, there's one in a tree, just playing. See some adult climbing a fallen marilla tree. Oh, these lions are spoiling us this morning. I don't know which way to look, there's so much going on. I'm going to pretend to be a leopard. It's not a very high tree, but... I was just going to stand back, let that... Oh, here we go. Did you see the lions? Negative. It's amazing how they can disappear. There they are. There's another one lying there. It's one of our advantages of our very short filming vehicle. That we're very maneuverable and we can sort of move quite quickly, even through bush that's quite thick, compared to if we were in a normal big drive vehicle. So guys, just a quick update for those of you who might have just tuned in. We're sitting with a pride called the Tsalala breakaway pride. There are 13 lions in this pride at the moment, 4 adults and 9 sub-adults. And we've been with them most of the morning. And what's happened is that Quatila, a female leopard, actually nearly walked into them. So we're able to get a quick view of her before she definitely got out of here quickly. So you could see her running back, looking over her shoulder. She's trying to make sure that she got away from the lions, and luckily for her, she saw them before they saw her. And then some of the sub-adults went to inspect because she got seen by Impala, and the Impala, there's some games going on. The Impala were alarm calling at the leopard. So some of the lions moved into this block here to inspect what was going on, and the sub-adults then started stalking the Impala, and it was a very good example of a of a sub-adult hunt. They went too quickly, and she blew the hunt from very close and in very good hunting weather with this. Whoa, right in front of us, just running lions everywhere. And so she blew the hunt, and then it was just pandemonium. There was impala running every direction, and so we're now staying, and now after botching the hunt, they're now sort of just playing and doing a bit of, there we go. They're just playing and chasing each other through the bush, having a good time. And all this playing is very important practice for hunting when they get older. There we go. Just see her body language. His body language. Oh, looks like we're going to climb the termite mound. Oh, this could be fun. I've seen lions do this before. They play Who's the King of the Castle. That cub is a little bit too interested in my tires. But if you have a look up in front of us, that termite mound, there's a lion on top of it. And quite often what happens with that, if there's another, I'm sure there's another sub-adult stalking, they play Who's the King of the Castle. Sort of battle for the top of the termite mound. It looks like they're going to come down now. So the reason I stopped my car is that one of the sub-adults males started coming quite close because he saw the movement of the tires. So obviously I don't want to teach him that he must chase cars, so as soon as he did that, stop the vehicle. The young boy is an annoying female. You can hear there's contact calls between the lions going on. Oh, get ready. Just going to go for this one. So lots of fun and games, and the weather's got a lot to do with that. We've had an incredibly misty, cool morning. Oh, no lion to catch. I'll catch a stick. Bit easier than an impala. And so that's a little update for the morning so far. And if you guys are new, we are literally live. So you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing, bar a few seconds. And we're also interactive. We take questions. And you can do that by sending an email to questions@wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag SafariLIVE when you're on Twitter. So we're actually in a position now where I can't move the car because the line's a little bit close. So I'm just going to keep still and wait for them to move from me. You can have a look. There's the one still sit. Oh, there's some stalking behavior going on there. You can see how the head crouches. Wait and watch. So there's the young male. Oh, coming towards us at high speed. Oh, and they're going towards the termite mound. Boom! And there's the one watching from the top of the termite mound. See if there's a sneak attack from above. A contact call. So even though the mist's lifted a little bit, it still is quite misty. And we have lines to the left of us, lines to the right of us. No lines behind us, but we've got lines in every other direction around us. Good morning, Judy from San Francisco. Judy would like to know, when I refer to sub-adults, what's the age range? Probably go from just over a year to about 2.5, 3 years. Just hang on, sorry, Judy, there's something going on. I just watched all their heads over here lift up. And how old do they need to be before they can form a roar? I mean, they'll be able to roar already. It's just the roar will get more powerful as they get bigger. So let's see how many lions we can see from where we are. So we're going to start with the one who is trying to eat our tires, who's sleeping now next to us. Then we've got one on top of the termite mound. And if we come down, there's that one, but also just to the right of that one, behind the little silver cluster leaf there, if you zoom in there, there's another lion lying behind there. So that's, and so if we come out across, then we've got, I think, 3 or 4 lying right off behind this bush, just off our nose. Oh, and then, we missed one. There's another one back there.
Oh yeah. Another one walking here.
Literally surrounded by lions. Well, get ready, there's a bit of a stalk on the go. Lots of fun and games. Isn't this wonderful to watch, guys? So I'm just going to try reposition and move very slowly so the tire thief doesn't go after the tires again. They're my tires, they're not yours. So all of that is, it's triggered by the movement. So I'm moving the tires very slowly. it's wonderful. I think a lot of the games are going to slow down now, even though it is still quite cool and overcast. But we will stay around for a little bit longer and see what happens. But hasn't this been a fantastic morning so far? We have been absolutely spoiled, and we're only halfway through drive. We've seen lions and leopards. We've seen a very worried leopard looking back over her shoulder. But it's been absolutely fantastic. We've seen an attempted hunt. We've seen lots of really great playing behavior. So I'm having the time of my life at the moment, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Lions everywhere. Oh, looks like it's got mischief in its eyes. Oh, flop. There's a proper lion flop. Oh. Off me. Let's keep checking behind us. You know, there might one or two more might pop out of the mist behind us. Yeah, I think we might. Let's go have a look at the one on top of the termite mound. Make sure there's no lines behind us. Am I good?
Lines behind us.
It's quite an interesting angle. It's not often a lion gets to look down on us. Stop watching my tires. So you can see, it's not very often a lion gets to look down on us, but it is quite nice. Nice big termite mound. So guys, I'm going to actually put it up to you. What do you guys feel like doing next? We have spent quite a long time with these lions. Would you like to stay with the lions for a bit longer, or would you like to move in? Send what you would like to do via email to questions at wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag SafariLIVE on Twitter. So a lot of people have been asking about the lumps on the lion's legs. I'm not sure if this female has. We can't really see the way she's lying. But yes, that is a sign of TB, feline TB. I think because of the age of these individuals, that the TB, that might not be as bad, affect them as badly as it does when it gets that big in younger individuals. As you can see, it hasn't really hampered their movement and whatnot from the way they've been playing. But obviously, oh, there we go, she does have a TB lump on her they contracted TB from a buffalo. So in this area, the buffalo have bovine tuberculosis, and it is transferred from eating buffalo. I think I should wear my Masai shuka more often. It seems to bring some good luck. Good morning, Ellen from Illinois. Ellen would like to know if we were on a walking safari and we came across this, would we be able to watch them doing what they're doing now? How would they react? What would I do? Well, Ellen, when you walk into lions during the day, 99% of the time, they run away from you. At night it's different, they'll try to eat you, but it would be almost impossible in this type of bush to watch this behavior on a walking safari. That is one of the reasons why vehicle safaris are so great, because vehicles have only been around for just over 100 years. The animals do not have an instinctual response to the vehicle, unlike they do to the upright figure of man. And we've been the dominant diurnal predator competing with lions for, well, there's been upright hominids on the African savannas for over 2 million years. So we've been competing with the lion's ancestors, and our ancestors competed directly with lions. So they have an instinctual response to the bipedal or upright figure of man. Where there's a vehicle only being around 100 years, it hasn't been enough time for them to have an instinctual response. So as long as you drive carefully and considerately and respectfully around the animals, they sort of don't have a reaction to it. It doesn't smell like something you can eat, it doesn't sound like something they can eat or be a threat. Obviously, if you drive badly, that'll change. But that's the reason why vehicle safaris enable you to get much closer and be able to sit like this and watch natural behavior of these animals. Because on foot, they would actually either run away or charge us to try to tell us to go away. But normally, with all walking safaris, the most important thing to do, there's even been a book written about it. It's called Whatever You Do, Don't Run. So that is the cardinal rule on walking safaris, is that you must never run. If you run, you will entice the sort of predatory instinct, and they will chase and try to catch you. So if it was a bad situation on a walking safari, what I'd do, if the lion was charging, for example, I would, lion's roaring. That's the adult lioness that's on the airstrip. That she didn't follow the rest of them into the block here. So guys, thanks for your feedback. It seems like everyone would like to stay longer with the lions, so that will do. I think what I might do, because there are lions starting to head back towards that female who's on the airstrip, and there's a possibility if a lot of these are here that she might roar again. So we might just go sit with her for a little bit, and maybe she'll roar. There are some of them heading back towards that female. our container there, Andrew. Thank you. Sorry, I threw something. But does anyone know? I've got a nice story for you. Do you guys know what a lion says when it's roaring? I can't remember if it was my grandfather or my father when we were little kids used to tell us this. So when a lion roars, it goes. Let me get out of this thick bush and I'll do it for you. Goes. Let me get out of this thick bush and I'll do it for you. Why is he that stuff? Why is he that stuff? Oh, she's moved. There we go. So hopefully she decides to tell us whose land it is again. Morning, morning.
Morning.
Hi, boss. So all the shenanigans have been going on, this large lioness, she stayed out of it while they've been chasing each other around and chasing the impala. But now she's called and a couple of them are moving back out towards where she is. You just see them off in the bush. Well, they lie down in the bush, but those are the same ones we saw get up when we were with the rest of the pride in the block. Oh, and there's a dove. So what we're doing is we're going to stand by her. Hopefully she roars again. This is a good time to take questions. So while we're sitting here patiently waiting for the lioness to roar again, you can send your questions via email to questions@wildearth.tv, or if you're on Twitter, use the hashtag SafariLIVE. Good morning, Philip from West Virginia. Welcome on Drive with us this morning. Philip would like to know, why do lions rub their head together? Well, Philip, that type of stuff, it sort of helps to strengthen social bonds. So lions will rub their heads together, lie down on each other, and a lot of that is just affirming the social bonds in the pride. because lions are not very nice when they eat. They smack each other, bite each other, and it's each lion for itself, sort of at the dinner table. They need quite a lot of social contact and whatnot to affirm the bonds between the pride afterwards. Being the only social cat, cheers everyone. Being the only truly social cat, you will see a lot more of this type of behavior with lions rather than with leopards. Good morning, Sam from Ohio. Sam would like to know, it's heard that with wild dogs, if there's an injured pack member, they'll actually regurgitate meat and food for that pack member. I'd like to know whether lions would do the same. Unfortunately not, no. That is a very much a wild dog thing. Not very few animals will do that. They're all more worried about the sort of survival of themselves as an individual. So lions will also, lionesses and male lions have been known to eat their own cubs if they're in really bad condition. The theory on this is that they do it to try and get some sustenance, and the fact is that they are trying to survive. They can always have more cubs, and that's the sort of theory behind why they do stuff like that. Not as common in lionesses, but I've seen male lions eat their own cubs before, with the lioness trying to stop him. But it gets to that point where the lioness realizes it's probably too dangerous. He's much stronger than her, so she would back down and let him eat the cubs.
It's almost like a Spartan type lifestyle.
Very Spartan lifestyle, you know. Good morning, Chris in Australia. That's a very good question, Chris. Chris would like to know whether these young boys that we saw now, there's 3 of them in this pride, would they be around close enough the same age to form a coalition? I think most definitely they would. And there's a strong possibility that they might take on other members from separate prides as well. So a lot of people tend to make the mistake and start calling lion coalitions brothers. It's actually, with the research I've read on it, they're actually very seldom brothers. You might have, say, in a coalition of 5, it's possible that there are 2 and 2 that might be brothers, and then a 5th sort of completely random, so from 3 different prides. The reason they do this is because of the high predator densities in these areas. So obviously 5 of you are going to be able to take over a pride and a territory much easier than 1 of you. So they bond together out of necessity to be able to get to the sort of top of the lion game and take over territories and prides. And when the pride takeovers happen, they can be very, very, very bloody and brutal. There was a coalition of male lions I used to see a few years ago when I was in the Sabi Sands called the Mapocho. They were called the Mapocho because they were particularly violent. And Mapocho is a security company in South Africa that is sort of known from north of where we are in the villages. It's sort of a self-policing security company that's known for very, very violent sort of responses to people breaking the law. So that's how they got their name. The coalition got the name. And what I've seen them kill a lioness, eat her body, mate with her corpse. I mean, it's incredible. The amount of sort of mayhem that happens during a lion pride takeover. So some of these cubs, the female cubs, might just be okay. They're just under 2 years, I think. So if they get sort of beyond 2 years, they're safe. But those young males will be killed immediately. I saw a video from a lodge to the south of, I think it was the Majingaland concession, killing the last of the Ottawa Pride young males, and that happened a couple of days ago. Because those males were born to, I think, the Salati males. So it's quite interesting, and during that time, the lionesses will particularly try over them, especially if they've got cubs that they feel that the new coalition might kill. And the reason they do that is to kill the cubs is within about 10 days of her cubs being killed, she will immediately start ovulating and come into estrus again, and so then the new coalition males will start mating with her. Good morning, Sherry, in Ohio. And Sherry is asking, are there any parasites that can kill lions, and how do they get these parasites? Well, Sherry, lions are literally a walking parasite. They are full of tapeworms, fluke worms, fleas, ticks, and lots of other sort of smaller parasites that are pretty much invisible. They get them from feeding off rotting carcasses and things like that. So obviously around the carcass, flies will bring in different diseases and things like that, and they'll eat the maggots sometimes while they're feeding off a carcass that's possibly particularly ripe. While they're healthy and in their prime, most of these parasites don't really affect lions. It's if they start get wounded or start losing a bit of a condition, or as they get older, that's when those parasites do have a part to play in them becoming very sickly or very old, or being old and sickly and possibly dying. But like most things out in the African bush, it's a very sort of live fast life. No one really dies of old age, apart from elephants, and even then they die of starvation rather than old age. So normally something will kill that animal before it sort of starves to death or whatnot. The yellow-billed hornbill, directly between the two lions that we can see at the moment. So we're going to give her, I reckon, another 10 minutes. Or 15 minutes. Let's give her 15 minutes to see if she roars again. And then from then I think we'll meander on, see what else we can find. Morning, Scott. Scott would like to know, is TB fatal to the lions? And if so, how long would it take to become fatal? Scott, it's quite interesting. It depends on the lion. I've noticed sometimes when they're very young, the TB hits them very hard and they die before they're 6-7 months old. Other times I've seen lions that have got the TB patch sort of on their thing live well into their sort of late years, 9, 10, 11 years old. So I think it just depends on the individuals for some reason. So guys, if some of you are just joining us now, just a little recap on the morning. We've been sitting with the Tsalala breakaway pride for the majority of the morning. Amazingly misty, really misty morning when we started. And so they were quite active. and they were playing, chasing each other around, and then they heard some. We heard some alarm calls of an impala quite close by. So one of the other vehicles shot off there quickly, and we had quite a brief visual of a Kwatile female leopard, which is who we saw a couple of weeks ago mating with Mvula around Twin Dams. And what happened is that the lions also heard those impala alarm calling. So she was lucky, she spotted the lions before they spotted her. So we had a quick view of her running and looking back over her shoulder, trying to make sure the lions weren't following her. And then some of the sub-adult lions went to go inspect if they could find whatever was being alarmed at, and soon found the herd of impala. And we got to see a really interesting attempt at a hunt, and very much an amateur hour. And she moved in far too quickly, showed her age, and spooked the impala. And then there was a bit of pandemonium, because there are so many lions in this pride. There are 13 lions, but we weren't sure what was going on. There were lions around us. There was impala running and snorting in all directions. Very, very, very interesting. And then we've spent the rest of the morning just with the pride, and they've been playing. It's been nice, cool weather. And we're spending the last little while, I'm going to say spend probably 10, 15 minutes waiting for this lioness. She has been roaring, but every time she's done it, we've been with the other section of the lions. So we're going to hope she gives us one last roar for the morning. And just to keep everyone else updated about quarantine mail who was on that impala kill right next to our final control. Andrew and I did see him this morning very early when we first went out, and he is still there. So I'm going to try before the end of drive, pop past and see if he's still there and see how much of the kill is left. So we can just keep checking on that sort of story. And also, for those of you who are new, you are seeing exactly what I'm saying by a few seconds. We are live from the African bush. We're on Arathusa Private Game Reserve this morning. Such a wonderful property. And as you can see, the lions like it as well. And it's an amazing experience and privilege for us to be able to share our passion with so many of you all over the world. Good morning, Doug from Arizona. Doug would like to know why we haven't seen any adult male lions with the pride. Well, Doug, male lions don't spend all their time actually with the prides. Quite often they're off patrolling, defending the territory from other males, and male lions can often have up to even 3 or 4 prides that fall within their territory, and the females' prides will be separate from each other, and they will defend their territories against other females, even though they all fall under the protection of the same group of males. So it isn't uncommon to find the prides without the dominant males around. They're just probably off in a different area patrolling. Come on, girlie, let's have a roll.
Maybe because she can see them now, there's no real point in...
That's possible. Although she did roar when she could see them earlier. Oh, it's a tired kitty. And also, a bit of information that I only learned, or I heard, but I found out more information, that this pride actually killed a very large giraffe to the west of here, and they finished it in sort of record time, but I suppose there are 13 lions, makes even a giraffe seem a bit small to eat. So these are quite successful mothers, the 4 adults in this group, to have raised 9 sub-adults so far. Good morning, Nicole. Welcome on Drive With Us this morning. Nicole would like to know, what is the main reason for male lions to have manes? Nicole? The main reason is to defend themselves. It's a bit of protection when they have to fight with other male lions. So it is mostly for defense, and also to make themselves look quite impressive, which you'll notice in the bush when it comes to fighting in that. If you look really impressive, you might be able to avoid a fight because you scare the other one away, the other competitors away before it actually comes to physical blows. So it is for defense, and that large amount of fur around its neck will protect them during a fight from another male trying to grab them by the throat or back of the neck.
Does the mane affect their hunting ability?
It does make them more visible, but male lions can still hunt. They tend to specialize in bigger things. Buffalo, hippo, giraffe. Good morning, Lisa from Syracuse. Lisa would like to know, does lions' body size change in different areas? And do the mane sizes also change? Well, Lisa, that's a very, very interesting question, and the answer is yes to both. We were actually chatting about this the other night, a couple of us, and as far as we know, the lions in the low veld area of South Africa are, in terms of body size and weight, physically, on average, the biggest lions in Africa. Or even though they might not be as tall and as striking as a Mara or a Kalahari male, but they are physically sort of larger in body weight. And with mane, it also depends on the area. There are areas where you have maneless male lions or very, very scruffy little manes. Southern Tanzania's got quite a few of them. And also if you look at a Kalahari, a lion that lives in the deserts, their manes are much bigger, much thicker. The deserts get much colder, and also it helps with protection from the sandstorms. And you'll notice that even the lionesses in the Kalahari, they have much thicker fur. Okay, guys, well, it doesn't look like she's gonna roar. So I think we've had such a fantastic morning, and all the lions are now sleepy lions. We're gonna head off to see what else we can find. Well, come on, give us a roar. Give us a roar for the departure, or not. Thinking about it. Absolutely fantastic this morning. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start heading back towards Juma and go check up on Mr. Q and his Impala. He was a very fat, sleepy cat when we went past there at early this morning. So let's go back into that area and see what's happening. And hopefully we find some other animals along the way. Okay, so apparently when I was telling the story that, I'm not sure, I think it was my grandfather and my father when we were young kids in the bush, they taught us what a lion says when it's roaring. So a lion says, "Whose land is it? Whose land is it? Whose land is it? It's mine. It's mine. It's mine." So quite a good novel way when we were young kids to teach us a nice way to remember the lion roar, but also to show us that it is about territory and that so they are calling to let everyone know that it is their land. And any other lions that want to come in there are going to have a fight for it. Lucky Sugar. It's a bit warmer now, but I don't feel like taking it off now. It's brought us some luck this morning. And it's quite funny, if I'd been wearing it around lions in the Masai Mara Serengeti, they would be bounding away from us.
I think it's also Tara's first time seeing lions.
Ah, possibly is.
Talking about it before drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, so it's nice. And we haven't seen, I don't know if you've seen that pride before, Andrew?
Once before.
Once before. So as I was saying, I used to see the Tsalala pride, which is further south from here often. That used to hang around. They used to hang around the lodge that I used to work at, and they're named after a place called Tsalala Pan, which was probably about 500 meters from my room down there. And so they've split. They obviously became too big, and this is the breakaway version. They had quite an interesting lioness when we used to see them often. She had no tail, and it was bitten off by hyenas at a Nyala kill, if I remember correctly. And then I was chatting to a friend of mine who stayed on longer than me. Said her next daughter, the exact same thing happened. So we had Taylor's lioness, and then her daughter also lost her tail, which is quite unusual. This has been quite productive for me over the last while. Lots of lions this morning, and Shadow and her cub a couple of days ago. And then Kwatile as well. And Kwatile, the female leopard, the one we saw very briefly there now, I actually used to see her mother and her grandmother to the south as well. And she comes from my sort of favorite lineage of leopards in the Sabi Sands. I think the first female in that lineage was the Sunset Bend female when they started marking it. And I think they're just very sexy leopards. They're very dark, and they almost got jaguar-like colorings, very long faces. Good morning, Charlie. Welcome on Drive. Charlie was just wondering what I was saying earlier about the red shukka that Maasai wear in Kenya and Tanzania, and that lions are actually scared of it, but she thought lions could only see in black and white. Actually, it's not really just black and white. It's more sort of different tones of grey. And for some reason, I think the lions just can see whatever grey this is, they've learned to pick up. And because the Maasai is such a threat to them constantly, they've learned to avoid. And they actually see someone wearing a shukka, they'll run away. Whereas you walk past wearing normal khakis, and they will behave normally like lions, but they will actually run far away and from a distance when they see Maasai coming through. It's very interesting. But the Maasai have been competing and with lions for territory for about 2,000 years. They've been, if I remember, no, maybe not that long. It's about 1,000 years that they've been on the Serengeti and Mara systems. And the strange thing is that in the Serengeti, specifically around the Ngorongoro crater, they pushed out another Nilotic tribe called Mangati, who also dressed the same as Maasai. So it's probably been 1,500 years of lions having to watch out for guys in bright red with spears. Obviously you can see these lions, never seen it, doesn't matter, no one tries to hunt them with a spear. Thank you very, very much, stations. I'm crossing back to the north. Great morning. Breakaway still on the airstrip, and then had a brief visual Kwatile, Ingwe, in that same lot where she went south. I'm not sure what the update was there, and I think there was other leopards to the northwest. Okay, so just give me a second, guys. I need to change radios. Going back onto the Juma channel. Morning mobile stations. Can I have an update, please? Good morning, Deborah, Kentucky. Deborah would like to know if lions are viewed as prey by any other animals apart from humans. No, they're not as prey. Leopards will kill the babies if they get the chance, and that's for removing competition. But as predators go, in Africa, lion is by far the apex. They are the top of the predatory food chain. As I can see, there's a car behind me who's got no guests, so he's probably in a hurry to get past, so I'm just going to let him squeeze past. Morning, Greg. Very good yourself? Yeah, we're live.
Oh, morning, folks.
So, how's your morning been?
Quiet, just doing one or two little trips to the gate.
Oh, fun, rather you than me.
Yeah, Lodge is a little bit quiet at the moment, but other than that,
awesome.
got to keep busy.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Right, you don't mind if I look at
No, that's why I pulled over. Go for it. I'm sure you're in a bit of a hurry.
Love your stuff.
Cheers, thanks. It seems all the guides are commenting on the shukka. I didn't have the heart to tell them it's actually a warrior's shukka. It's not a scarf. Goodness sakes. Come on, get it right. I should bring my Maasai spear out with me next time. need to collect it from home, so they make sure they know it's not a scarf, it's a shuka. Is there any updates on where's for the morning, please? So, when you work in the lodge, there's never a dull moment. There's always maintenance and stuff to do, people to take onto the gate to go on holiday. So, never a quiet day, even when you don't have too many guests. Thanks very much, Karen. She sent me a bit more information on the Tsalala Breakaway Pride, and we will cover some of that information just now. But thank you very, very much, Karen. That makes helps me put all the line dynamics into context. So that tailless lioness that I was talking about, the original one, these are all 4 of the adult females with that pride are her granddaughters. And at one stage, new male lions were coming in, and her daughters just stayed there, and she moved with the granddaughters up to this northern area to escape a new coalition of males. Thank you very much, Karen. So what I'm doing is I'm heading down towards the Twin Dams area. There have been some elephants around there quite frequently. So we're just going to try to see if we can find some elephant, and then we will go back and double check on Mr. Q, or the quarantine male leopard, who has an impala kill very close to our final control. So I thought I heard something for a second there, so false alarm. It's still quite nippy, but definitely a bit warmer than it was. You can see the mist. It's unusual that it normally stays this long, but there is some other cloud coming in, but I think it will burn off. It is a beautiful, cool morning. And we're quite lucky with that morning that's enabled the lions to stay active for so long. Good morning, Tanya from the UK. Tanya would like to know what is my most memorable, favorite lion sighting that I've experienced. Wow, Tanya, I've been really lucky. I've seen many, but I think I'll talk about probably the strangest and most unusual one. I was working as a tracker for my dad during I can't remember, it was a school holiday in northern Botswana, and we were with the pride about 8 or 9 lions, and we knew they were going to get up and go hunt buffalo. So we spent, like you do a lot, often with lions, you spend a lot of time waiting for sleeping lions to do something. And there was one young male who was probably a similar age to those young males we saw today, so probably around 2 years old. And and they were lying on the edge of the sort of honey bowl, and there was open grassland near there. And on the road came trotting a honey badger. Quickly at Twin Dams. Probably bank station. I'm going to be studying my car. Yeah. Oh. There's a hippopotamus in Twin Dams. It looks like a young male. He's being pushed out of the better water by older males, so he's forced to come to a dam like this, which is probably not ideal for a hippopotamus. So they are. Being a young male hippo is quite a tough life. Don't worry, guys, I'll come back to that story now. But while we've got the hippo in front of us, I'm gonna stay with him. So you can see it's very, very shallow for a hippo to be in. And I think, what was that? Oh, it's just leaves on his back. I thought maybe he had some wounds. You can see, so he would get quite sunburnt in here, but there's still some water to protect him. And when he's a bit older, he can challenge for a nice deep pool full of ladies. Goodbye, Mr. Hippo. Sorry, we went through a bit of a bad signal. That's why I stopped telling the story. I'll start again now. As I said there, just to recap in case anyone missed, I was working as a tracker during one of my school holidays for my dad in northern Botswana. And we were waiting. There was a big herd of buffalo nearby, and we knew this pride of lions was going to definitely try hunt them that night. So we were waiting on the edge of sort of Mapani and silver cluster leaf thickets. They were lying on the edge, and it was quite next to this sort of expansive floodplain near the Kwanda River. And what happened was that there was only one young male in the pride. He was probably around 2 years, about the same age as those young males we saw this morning. And I honey badger came down the road towards them, and the honey badger trots like he owns everything. Off he came, dop, and he stopped. He saw the lions, looked at the lions, and was like, nah, and carried on running straight past the lions. All the older, more experienced lions, they sort of lifted their head and went, put their head back down. The young male decides, no, he's going to catch this thing. So he bounds after it, grabs the honey badger, and then the honey badger just turns into like a little ball of fury, making all sorts of noises and scratches and fighting whites. And after a minute, not even a minute, probably 15, 20 seconds of this, and lion howling and honey badger snarling and just pandemonium, it turns out the male lion has now got his paw in the middle of the honey badger's back, like this, and flat. So he's got that, and now the honey badger's sort of stuck in the sand like that. Now the male lion doesn't know what to do. So every time he lifts his paw a little bit, the honey badger goes and tries to bite him. So he pushes him down again. And so it was, and this went on for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, with them just holding this honey badger flat in the sand. And then the lionesses got up, they started stretching and moving back and going after the buffalo herd. And you could see that, so the male lion looking at the honey badger, looking at the lionesses, looking at the honey badger, looking at the lionesses, and they start walking away. Now you can see him look, and it's like, oh no, what have I done? And then after about 5 minutes, where we couldn't see the lionesses, you see this male lion thinking, he's like, okay, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? And you could almost see him count in his head. He went 1, 2, 3, and he pushed the honey badger almost under the sand, and then jumped off the back of the honey badger and ran after the lionesses. And the honey badger is not very fast when he runs, but he still chased them for a good 100 meters, going and just complaining at the lion. But I think that young male lion learned a very important lesson that day. Is there any station mobile on Tsalala this morning? Back on Juma, and as I said, we spent the majority of the morning with those wonderful large. So. Morning, Ellen. Ellen would like to know if this is a different kill, the one that was in the tree to the one that was seen at the hyena den last night. Yes, most definitely. But here we go. I said he probably wasn't too far away. I just spotted him walking through the grass.
Could he have?
No, I think he dropped it and the hyenas would have stolen it. Madorenga, just to the north of Yuri's Kaya Mobile, towards Twin Downs Road. So aren't we being spoiled? 2 leopards, 13 lions, and being able to stump me. he might head down towards the dam, but there is so many puddles and whatnot around after the rain, he might not need to. He might find a puddle he can drink out of before he gets down to the dam. We got there at the right time. So this looks like the quarantine male leopard. It looks like there's a very distinct pound sign that I've tried to get a look at on his above his left eye. So I just snapped a picture there. Have a look. So he's just finished an impala. You can see how full he is. I think he actually dropped some of the carcass and the hyenas might have made off with it. But he was still quite close in the area. So we found him probably about 50 meters from where it was. So just for those who know, we've been following the story for quite a while now, 3 or 4 days, that he's been feeding on that impala. You can see the grey lurry doesn't like him, making noise. That he's found a nice comfortable spot on a termite mound. It's quite a good spot for him to lie up. He's got water close by. He's also got this large bush to his right that'll shield him from view from the open areas just below, and he's quite well shielded all around. So it's a good spot because an animal might stumble into him. Yeah, hardy dog ibis in the background. And a squirrel alarming. Oh. It's got some reinforcements to annoy the leopard. That was on timing, all three of them wham at the same time. What was that, hornbill? Red-billed. So he's cleaning himself after feeding. Leopards do spend quite a bit of time doing that. The squirrel alarming behind me. I don't think he's alarming at quarantine, so I'm just having a quick look over my shoulder. I don't see anything. It is quite open down there, so maybe it could have been a bird of prey that flew over. So that hornbill going tup, 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 tup. Also not very happy about having the leopard lie where he is. All the birds letting it known that they are not impressed. That squirrel's still alarming much better down below us. That squirrel is very, very upset. I'm just going to have a quick look down there. There could possibly be another leopard in the area. And while he's flying up here and giving himself a clean, just want to just quick double check. I mean, it could very easily be that the squirrel's alarm calling at a bird of prey or something else, but it's always worth double checking. Because I asked Andrew to keep watching over my shoulder in case he moves. Oh, big hole. Didn't see that one. Too busy looking around. Where's the squirrel? So very worked up there for the last little bit. Well spotted. That could definitely set the squirrel off. It's a Tsalala. There you go, guys. I know it's quite far, but of that preview, who could tell me whether it was a male or a female Tsalala? You can send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag SafariLIVE if you're on Twitter.
I think I may have to show it again.
Yeah, no, and it's back there now. Let's go forward a bit. Should be able to get a better view of it shortly. So he's going to be able to spot whether it's a male or female Tsalala. Oh, Mr. Q is up and moving. great area. It's a bit low. Oh, he's going into the spike thorn thicket. That might not be too good for us. He might be going steep inside there. There's a...
No.
I got some rosettes. I think he's lying down. He's disappeared into the spike thorn thicket. I'm not sure whether he's going to rest up in here. He is, yeah. I'll just move forward a bit so you can get a few rosettes there. So there he is. He's sleeping in the nice thicket, well protected, well camouflaged if any other animals did happen to come up upon him. He would have a good chance of being able to catch them from that position. Okay, well at least we know where he is for this afternoon. We're gonna, I think, not stare at one or two rosettes at the bottom of the bush, head out to the top of Quarantine Clearings, which is...
I wonder if I could just get a close-up of this bird while we get...
Okay, no problem. It's that go-away bird that has been giving us quite a lot of entertainment. Oh, there it is. He's not very happy about having a leopard around. It's a grey go-away bird. Good morning, Riley. Riley would like to know, do leopards often eat squirrels? Do they like eating squirrels? Riley, especially when leopards are younger, cubs, quite often one of the first kills they'll ever make is a squirrel. Oh, look, all the old men are on their way down to the dam in the distance. So quite often it's the first kill they'll make. But you'll find even things like tiny little birds, waxbills and testiculars and all that, will all alarm at predators, even though the chances of a leopard eating a tiny little bird is very slim. Well done, Sharon, in Austria. If you're correct, the edge of that battalier, even though it wasn't the best sighting, was very thin. It was a female battalier. And here come all the old men down to Juma Dam. Pop up, yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was going to be quite nice. They're coming down. Watch this guy. Coming down to the water for the first time, to the mud for the first time today. They might be a bit frisky. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait, I lost count now. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 buffalo bulls heading down to spend a day at the spa in the mud. Thanks very much, Shanae. Shanae has managed to find out what the Afrikaans word for a silver cluster leaf was, which completely stumped me, and it is a valboom. And it's amazing. They come out of the bush, the oxpeckers spot them and just descend like, oh, breakfast. So they would have been resting up in the thickets not far from here. And normally they're down at the water's edge a bit earlier, but because it's been so cool this morning, probably come down a bit later. Guys, it's been an unbelievably fantastic morning. We've had so much luck today. And maybe it's because of the sugar, or maybe we're just lucky this morning. I mean, we were able to spend a huge amount of time, nearly 2 hours with that Tsalala breakaway pride. And thanks again, Karen, for the information on them. It's really nice to catch up, and it's nice to see that they're actually the granddaughters of a lioness I used to see quite regularly. And then also, Quatilia, female leopard, very nice to see her, even though it was a very brief visual. But she did have to skedaddle, otherwise she might not have been so comfortable and got chased up a tree by the lions. And then coming back to just finish the story that's been unfolding 60 meters from our final control with the quarantine male leopard and that impala kill. It is now gone, and we're lucky enough to find him right there. Full belly, and he's moved not far, so he's probably now about 250 meters from final control, gone into a spike thorn thicket, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good sleep and try to digest that impala. And then we've got some buffalo bulls right here with us. What a wonderful way to end off. And just say thanks to everyone for joining us. It's been a spectacular morning. I really do enjoy being able to share my passion with you. So from all of us here at Wild Earth, I hope we see you or come join us this afternoon. Thanks very much, and goodbye.